Hey everyone, my name is Lawrence Hua, and I'm a produce manager at Giant Eagle. Did you know that every year grocery stores lose hundreds of thousands of dollars on perishables? And it's not just a store problem. Customers, shoppers, and the entire food system feel it too. So that's why we created Expired, so we can prevent waste before it happens, and we can turn that loss into an opportunity. 28.7 billion loss annually in grocery food waste, 300 to 400K loss per store in perishables. And in 2024, 100 plus food waste reduction bills proposed, with 12 states enforcing stricter food waste laws and giving tax incentives for food donation. If that doesn't open your eyes to the problem, let us demonstrate one we can all understand.
Hi everyone, I'm Rambi, the Inspired Marble lead, and I love grocery shop. Last week, I bought the strawberries on discount and they lasted for the whole week. But 2 days ago, I bought these strawberries at the full price, and look, they're already moldy. I wish I knew how long it would last. That's $5 wasted.
And stores like mine lose even more. We lose the customer trust and the ability to actually know what tracking we're doing. So the problem is here that right now, markdowns, we just grab an item from the front of the house, inspect it, and if it looks a little bit off, we throw it in the markdown section for the same price. No strategy, no tracking, just a reaction.
So even the store don't know if they're discounting correctly and if the food is good to eat.
Exactly. And that's where Expired comes in. It gives us confidence to make the right decisions. Here, take a look and try out Expired. Meet Expired, an AI-powered platform that can scan produce and give you a quality freshness score so we can act before food goes bad.
So if I scan these strawberries, I can actually know if they're fresh.
Exactly. Expired takes the guesswork out of things, allowing shoppers to get the right product at the right price and the right quality, and it helps retailers optimize their yield.
Wow, that sounds great. But why do you want to launch it now?
Well, it's a compliance issue in 12 states, and it can cost up to 50K in fines a day. As well as that, grocery retailers are actively trying to seek strategies to comply with these new laws. And customers, shoppers like you, are increasing demand for sustainable practices in grocery retail. So let's talk numbers. The TAM is $1.8 trillion in the United States for the US food and retail industry. The SAM is 5 billion, encompassing the top 15,000 grocery stores' operational inefficiencies, which contribute to shrink. And the SOM represents our immediate revenue potential. How do we make money exactly? Well, we have two revenues. The first is through the customer, where we charge $60 a year. And the second is through the business, where depending on their revenue, we charge 15 to 25K a store for a total annual potential revenue at year 5 of 915 million.
Seems cheaper than other competitors, but why do retailers choose Inspired over other solutions? What's your secret sauce?
Our secret sauce is combining AI quality scoring that only gets better with use with markdown pricing, shrinkage prevention, customer engagement, inventory forecasting, and optimization. No one else integrates all these solutions into one centralized platform.
So, how do we bring this to the market?
Well, we have a three-phase approach. The first phase is to pilot with Giant Eagle to prove our solution. The second is a regional phase where we scale past just produce and gain new partnerships. The final phase is to scale nationally to 4,500 stores and over 800K users by the end of year 5. Also, the environmental impact is just as big. We save 60 to 90 tons of waste per store, save 1.06 trillion gallons of water annually, save stores 20% in shrink, and shoppers at least $200 annually. And as well as that, we align with SDGs 2, 12, and 13. But exactly who are we? We are a team of AI engineers, grocery industry veterans, and relentless problem solvers who refuse to accept food waste as just a cost of doing business. So to take our mission to the next step, we're asking for $10,000 we need to pilot with Giant Eagle and to prove our shrink reduction. So food waste is a $30 billion problem, but it doesn't have to be.
As a shopper, I want to trust what I'm buying, and the stores should be able to sell fresh food, not throw it away.
The problem is urgent, the opportunity is massive, and the solution is in place. So please join us in transforming the grocery industry together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I
All
ask
right,
just a
Kendra?
quick one? On your timeline, you mentioned scaling past produce.
Yes.
What does that look like and what does that mean?
So for example, right now, we started off with produce because it has the highest shrinkage at all grocery stores. As well as that, computer vision isn't as great as we might think, but in the more recent years, it has become a lot better. So, tackling just produce actually is the hardest step, right? Because in order to get the quality of something, have you ever heard the saying that beauty is in the eye of the beholder? Yeah, so basically, this is what it basically is, right? Like, how do you really define what quality is? And so with our pilot, that's exactly what we want to do. We want to create a standard for all grocery stores to look at something and say, this is good or this is bad, not just from the produce manager's perspective.
What does that mean, past produce? So you mean you scan other types of grocery items?
Yeah, so right now we're looking at fruits, vegetables, but we also want to go to proteins like fish, chicken, meats, and then also as well as that, non-perishables, right? Like boxes of cereal or drinks. Like kombucha. Kombucha goes bad quick, so.
Jim.
Hello.
Hi. The assumption is that you know the answer to when that strawberry turns bad. And I wonder if that's correct, because if you're scanning it, it pops up and says, oh, it's going to last till Thursday, so it's fresh. Where do you get the information that it's going to last till Thursday? And doesn't that change with time and conditions and other things? I don't know where you get the benchmark, except in certain things where it's going to be obvious and simple.
That's a great question. And actually, so right now we have a freshness score. So this freshness score kind of represents how fresh an item is. As well as that, we provide a reasoning. So for example, these boxes of strawberries over here are very moldy. So it would give a freshness score of around 50 to 40%. But as well as that, they would give reasoning too and say, there's a box of strawberries that's moldy. Hey, you probably shouldn't eat this, right? As a shopper. But as a retailer, we are looking at thousands of items every single day, right? So how can we quickly and consistently give a good or bad rating? That's what expired does. So when we scan something, we say, okay, this is in the threshold of that grocery store. So let's say a grocery store like Giant Eagle, they want to only have, let's say, 85% freshness. So if it falls below that, they're going to throw it in a markdown section so that it'll sell quicker.
I forget, are you scanning the fruit or are you scanning a code that has information about the fruit?
We're scanning the whole thing. So if it has a code, that's great. If it doesn't, no problem at all. We can just scan the strawberry and it'll know the freshness score. The reason why I say we can scan the whole thing is because there is a lot more information in that little barcode, right? You can get, the brand name, where it's from, other things like that. Although you can do that with computer vision as well, it makes more sense to have an optional field, right? Where this barcode, if it is optional, if it is seen, then it'll count into the metrics.
Yeah, and also for the box, you can scan several boxes and get the average freshness score for each box. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi. Okay. So this first of all, this is a good idea. I think it's great that we have something like this. I have a question about some of the numbers. I'm actually just curious how you came up with the estimates that in year 3 your total revenue are $230 million to $348 million. And if you can do this, why isn't anyone else doing this? This sounds amazing.
Oh. So that is a great question. Based on our research from other competitors who are currently putting AI freshness score or AI in grocery retail, that's exactly what they're doing now, reducing shrinkage by 20%. So over here, I say, we reduce shrink by 20% per stores. A company called A-Fresh does that, and they put out a study that says, hey, we actually reduced 20% of shrink in that store. The money is based on, see if I can get to that slide quickly. So this is what you mean, right? Or this one?
I was going off of the business plan, but that's fine too. Okay. I mean, basically there are 3-digit million numbers, yes. And I'm curious why nobody else is trying to do this.
Well, in more recent years, there have been a lot of developments in computer vision, right? So something like this hasn't really been looked at fondly, especially on a standalone platform like this. Usually you would have like a camera hardware or something of that sort. So to answer your question about the numbers, based on research of what we came up with food waste.
Got it. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.